morning we go to the Henry Ford Museum in Detroit, and then we fly home.
You get home late?
Yeah. We leave at like 3. We fly to South Carolina, and then we have a direct flight from South Carolina.
Holy cow.
Yeah.
And then do you have to
I'm
work
just
in the
along
day?
for the ride.
I'm gonna need a couple of coffees today. I wasn't supposed to be working today, but Delaney was supposed to be retail by herself, but she is gonna have to go to volleyball camp, so I'm gonna have to help her so that she gets done in time.
Didn't you say you had some kind of trailer to do?
Yeah, but I'm gonna tell him I don't want to do it. I guess it's been like 100 the whole week that I was gone. So like all my flowers are dead. The yard's still okay, but it's definitely looks stressed. But like it's never cooled down at night, I guess. So the weather was so great in Seattle and I'm just so tired and already like dehydrated. I just don't think I can do it today. Because I'd have to be out in the full sun.
I'm gonna
you know?
need back into
I think I can do
life.
Yeah.
After this.
Morning, Tempest.
I feel like crap.
Yeah.
All we've done is eat out everywhere we've gone.
Yeah, I had my first home cooked meal in a week last night.
Yeah. I didn't. I had cereal. We got home, like literally I didn't leave the couch from whenever I got home until like 9:30 last night. I literally just sat there. I couldn't even get up. And so Mike went and got me food at like 4. And I only ate a couple bites of it, and then I passed out for a little while, and then it was like 8 o'clock and I just didn't feel like eating. So I had cereal at 10. It's great. Good morning, Rick. Hey, Josh. Man, Rick Wolf, he killed it at AFO.
Let's see.
Cleaner the cleaner. I'm on my coffee too, but I might have to get another one when I go pick up this heat. There's not enough coffee in the day.
It'd be a coffee day for Sid.
Yeah.
Well, got a good crowd jumping on.
Yeah. Morning, Christopher. Hey, Louisiana showing up in the chat. That's awesome. Nice Gary.
There you go.
Woo! We are live. Both of us.
Again,
Did you say live or alive?
Alive. It's good to be alive.
I'm surprised. We've both been on different adventures the last week or
Yeah.
more.
Yep. Yep. We have William here, Richard. Man, Richard. He's amazing.
So you got your fan club, and I have my fan club.
Oh, too funny. Well, Kyle, how's your week's been? You've been on vacation.
Home, get back in the gym. I'll be honest, all this traveling, I feel gross, but we've made some really cool memories, traveled all over Michigan, and we're wrapping it up tomorrow. I told my wife, no more of these. I mean, she's cool to travel all summer.
Yeah.
So it's been all day. I got tons of work scheduled when I get home.
Mm-hmm.
And how about you? How's your week?
Oh man, what an adventure. So I got home yesterday from the Air Force One detailing project in Seattle, Washington, and what a crazy week. I'm not sure that there's anything that can prepare you for that as a rookie. I mean, I had seen the pictures and heard all the stories before, but I think just, walking into that facility and the history and all the planes, I think that I haven't been to museums for a long time. And I think that a lot of times you just think there's just things sitting in museums and you walk past them and you look, but when you really get to hear the stories and the history of those planes, it takes on a whole new meaning. It's not just like cleaning planes. You're gonna have to hold on, Piper. And so it was just like, that was just really overwhelming. And so, that brought a really special element to the week for me. And, right away we jumped on metal polishing. And so that was super cool. That was so fun. And right away it makes you bond as a team, and my team was awesome. Everybody, the whole team, every single person there was just amazing. I know, I'm sure every year everybody thinks it's the best team, but I really do. I think it was the best team. Like the whole group of all the detailers was just amazing. And to be with them for the week and work next to them was just really, really cool. Really, really cool. I think that I'm mentally exhausted versus physically exhausted. Physically, I feel pretty good. But mentally, I think it's just taking everything in, and it was really cool. I had a great time.
Yeah,
love all
so
those guys.
Sydney went to be part of the team, and in Seattle, Washington, at the museum that members of the Detail Mafia have been doing for, I think next year is 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
With Rennie, her and I believe 29 others, so 30 were there working on Air Force One and B-17 and many other planes. Been able to work on in years past. Just so happened that my family this year, but great opportunity. I have a love and appreciation for these planes, especially the stories from these people, and where they're, it's like a customer are, and where to be careful, and then where you can the planes shine and stand out, begin to care for these. They're not museum, they're artifacts, and some of them are worth hundreds and some of them aren't, but they all have really cool history. And there's so many docents and people that stop the planes, and as it says, I'm going in and out.
Yeah, I'm getting messages right now. It might be your
take my AirPod out and see if I just...
The other thing I'm I'm fighting
You
here.
gotta
My
change your
upload speeds
input.
are bad.
He'll change his input real quick. So yeah, we pretty much did every single plane in there, didn't we, Chris? I feel like, we got quite the jump on the week, and so we were able to, get a couple more planes cleaned up and had a lot of fun with that. And that's what I think I thought was so cool was, especially like the 727 that was, serial number 1 from Boeing, things like that just had such cool stories. And so, yeah, it gives the project a whole different meaning. Really, really cool. Are you back, Kyle?
No, we're not getting his audio.
Uh-oh. So while we're waiting for Kyle, you got to click on the little gear thing and change your audio. So the picture that Chris has up, I really love this. I thought this turned out so good. So Tom from Buff Bright sent the AFO team his new Buff Bright skins, which are the custom made skins for the polishers. So this was my Flex XCE with the skin on it, and it looked so good. I was super impressed. And to note, all of the metal, what do you call it? Sediment, totally wiped out, totally wiped out. So it was super, super cool. So yeah, it was just an awesome, awesome week. Loved the project, loved all the people, loved the museum staff. Oh my gosh. The heart that they put into that is just, all of that just really, touches you. And that was just the coolest thing. Those were all things that were totally unexpected for me. Like, I went in just thinking it was just going to be, hard work, preserving airplanes. And there was just so much more that came out of it that was just really, really cool. So loved it.
Can you
loved it.
Are me now?
Yes.
Yeah, we're good.
We can hear you now.
Yeah, it muted me and I kept saying press M. And I'm like, I am. It's not doing anything. Look at that picture. That's cool. Tell us about that, Cindy.
Yeah, we were just talking about that when you had to cut off. So that's the Buff Bright skin.
Oh.
I love it. It worked out so good. I let them know that it totally wiped right up. Even Tom himself was a little bit nervous about all that white that was on there, but it cleaned up 100%. And man, it looked good in pictures. Every picture that I saw of it, I was like, yeah, that looks so awesome. So really loved the skin. I thought that was really special for everybody to have that with the, presidential detailing team seal and stuff on it. So cool. Loved it. Loved it.
Yeah. Another cool moment for the team members. Well,
yeah.
Engines looks like you got in like engine 2 from the pic. Always fun. I don't fit in there, so
I barely fit in there, and Chris could attest to that. He was the one that had to help me get in there and take the picture. So yeah, it's interesting because you look and you think, it should be fine, but man, when you try to get in there, it's a whole different story. And I was actually holding myself up because I didn't want to be, laying in the bottom. So I was holding myself up with my feet, and that was quite a but cool picture.
Over the years, as we've cut and polished that, it's made it smoother and smoother in there.
Yeah.
It's a little bit of a slide.
Yeah, you slide right down. There were some funny pictures. There was one of Deon Smith I saw last night where he pretended to be asleep in there, like he was hiding in the engine and was sleeping. That was pretty funny. I did catch
some of the team made some great TikToks. Daniel Gills took a little miniature plane and then pulling out of that was. It looks like you guys had a good time.
Yeah, and if anybody wants to go see more, because there's obviously tons of posts out there from the week. If you go search the hashtag Detailers of Air Force One, you'll probably get everything on every platform, Instagram, TikTok. Highly recommend checking it out on TikTok because there was some pretty creative TikToks made over the week. And then, just a really awesome post by everybody. It was so fun. So fun. I think my favorite was the Oompa Loompa, when the team was marching over with their.
Cracking up.
That was funny. That was funny when the team had to march over. Gosh, there was probably about, I would say probably 20 of them had to march across the street with long Swiffer poles to go clean the constellation, which is in front of the museum. So it's across the street. And so everybody just marched over with their Swiffer pole. And so it was a whole brigade, and Daniel Gill put the Oompa Loompa song to it. And that was pretty funny. So yeah, so it was a good time. Super, super exhausted still, but yeah, what a week. Something to remember forever, for sure.
Hey, real quick,
so what
guys,
products did you use?
Oh, Chris wanted to say something.
I just want to say real quick, Kyle, your audio and stuff still is struggling. I think it's probably hotel internet. I don't think it's anything you can do much about. So I just want to tell everybody just to be a little patient with it. You know, it comes through, but there's a slight delay with Kyle. So, you know, that's what we're fighting against.
I can tell there's a delay.
Yep.
Yep. Cool. All right. So what products did we use? Was that the question? So I would say that the three probably top used products was obviously Metal Bright. That was the first one. I don't even know how much we went through that first day, but you know, that was kind of the main, you know, the first 2 days really, we were all Metal Bright everywhere. So went through a lot of that. That product's awesome. And then probably paint gloss and bead maker. You know, we go through a lot of paint gloss and bead maker. So we use a lot of paint gloss to clean the planes, bead maker to protect everything. So, you know, whatever, even all the metal, everything after all the metal gets polished, we wipe it down with bead maker and it goes on awesome. It's, you know, really, really nice. And so I would say those were the three that we went through the most. And then rag company towels. I don't even know how, I mean, what would you say, Chris? Thousands? I mean, so many rags.
Yeah, it was a lot. A lot of pads too.
Yes. So many pads, so many rags. So yeah, those were kind of the top used items. We used paint prep, I would say, quite a bit too. That was one that got used. Yeah, those were the most used ones, but for sure, a lot of bead maker, a lot of Metal Bright. It was pretty cool.
Well, we found that bead maker works over the years and it helps protect them.
Mm-hmm.
I heard you did some polishing on some windows.
I did, yeah. On the last day, I got to polish all of the graphics on the B17, and which I don't believe have ever been polished before. They had a lot of streaks. They were kind of, I mean, yellow. You know, you don't really realize until you start polishing that they've had a real yellow hue. Lots of streaks on them and stuff, stains. And so, you know, looking at the B17, you know, glass is my thing. And so I had asked Tom and Fred about it earlier in the week, if they were okay if I, you know, tried to clear them up a bit, and they were like, oh yeah, that'd be great. So I got to go over there and work on all the windows of the B17, which they're plexiglass. So there's only so much you can do, right? And it's an old plane, but they got, I mean, the clarity got 50 to 60% better. You could actually see through them, which I thought was really cool. Then from the outside of the plane, you could see the guns on the inside, which you could not see before. So definitely cleared them up. Some of them I was able to go inside and polish as well. And then did the graphics on the outside of both the B29 and the B17. And so I'll have some videos coming out on that, but it was amazing. Like you could see where we, you know, the line of where we hadn't polished yet. And man, it just made such a huge difference. All of a sudden that star just, you know, looked so amazing. And I think my favorite part was Fred and Tom were so excited how the windows were turning out that they actually climbed on top of the B17 and pulled that hatch. And I don't remember what that gunner's name is, but the dome hatch on the top of the B17, they actually took that off and carried it down and asked me to polish that. So that was really cool. That was fun for me. And they were so excited. So I loved that. That was really awesome. I was just in my little moment there, and that was cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was fun.
And those little things mean a lot to those guys. You know, those planes, especially the B-17,
Yeah,
those are their babies. These guys, you know, or they flew in these things, or they had family members go the extra mile for them. They just think the world of you. Those are some great guys.
Yeah, that was so fun. So fun. So yeah. Oh,
Well,
Joe said, Fred, about how amazing you did on the B-17 glass. That's so nice. That's awesome.
Am I frozen?
You're not frozen.
Okay.
Your audio clicks out every now and then, but it catches back up.
Looks frozen. It's actually kind of funny. I have like a pissed off face on, and I'm like, so all right.
Yeah, William said earlier he needed you to smile more. All right. So should we get into some questions? Do we have questions?
Detailing questions, or should we keep interviewing Sydney about Air Force One?
Well, I don't know that there are any detailing questions yet.
There's some comments.
Here's one. Found one. Facebook user.
All right. So new to detailing and really like PNS detail products. Any suggestions on windows? Yes, absolutely. So windows are my thing. So first of all, clarity cream, obviously, to get them perfect. Clarity cream only goes on the outside. So clarity cream, you know, especially on a vehicle that's new to me, meaning I've never detailed it before, I always start with clarity cream on the outside. That just removes all that kind of, you know, built-in contamination and stuff that doesn't come off with a normal wash. So super easy. You put clarity cream on any polishing pad. If you're just starting out, you can use, you know, something soft like a black one or an orange one, and just remove the contamination so that you're not getting towel drag or smearing when you try to clean them. So use the clarity cream, get them perfectly polished and clean, and then it's almost virtually impossible to get glass streaks after that. And then on the inside, I use an applicator pad to apply it, and then we have the TrueView glass cleaner, which we do have ready to use in the double black line, and it's just called TrueView ready to use. And then in the concentrate is in the Chemtrol line, and that one you dilute, you know, down to the ready to use dilution. And so that I just spray it on a microfiber applicator pad, and then you know, draw the perimeter of the window and then just fill in. And you're using that applicator pad to kind of scrub anything that's on the glass off, and it just evenly distributes the product. And then you just come back with, you know, a really highly absorbent microfiber. My personal choice is the FTW, and you just come back and it literally just, you pick up any product that you left over, which is usually not very much when you're using a good microfiber applicator, and you just polish out the, you know, the remaining product, and then it's so easy to do, and it's fail proof usually. So if you want to see how I do that, we have a great video on our YouTube channel that's, I believe it's labeled RTU glass cleaner, and you can watch that. But it's super, super easy, and it takes all of the frustration out of glass. I know that is probably detailers' number one frustration is glass cleaning. So TrueView inside out with a pre-polish of clarity cream. Wow, I'm really big. I
know we lost Kyle for a minute.
Maybe he's trying to reconnect. So yeah, TrueView glass cleaner. Awesome stuff.
Let's see. Here's another one.
Terry says, what did you wipe and wash the plane with prior to polishing? So good question. So the first couple planes that we did in Air Force One, we wiped down with paint prep and paint gloss. So both of them. So it just depended on kind of the surface of the airplane, what would work best. And, we just needed to remove kind of the dust and dirt that had blown in. They weren't super dirty, and so just needed to kind of clean them up before we polished. They didn't have to be perfect because, that metal polish does it, picks up everything. And we know that there's still going to be some stuff left on the surface since we're not truly washing them. The museum volunteers do try to periodically come in and rinse the planes down with a pressure washer. So those ones weren't super bad. And then we used some other products on some of the other ones that we can't talk about yet, but maybe we will later. And so, yeah, we just wiped them down and then started polishing. So paint gloss and paint prep. There was definitely times that I was wishing that we had Epic with us, but we made do. It was awesome. And we just used Swiffers. It's really kind of cool to watch how the Swiffers with a microfiber and the right spray can get the planes really clean. So yeah, lots of Swiffering.
Yep. Let's see, there's a new one.
Oh, I always love these chemtrail questions. I probably should write them down. So what's the Tempest dilution for rubber floor mats? I don't know. So mine runs through my chemtrail, which Keith set up. And so it's been out there now for almost like 2.5 years. So I don't really know, but I want to say that it's like 4 to 1. But you know what Tempest is? So here's the best thing I can say. So if you have Tempest on the back of the gallon, it has all the dilution rates on the back. So mine is just the dilution for general purpose cleaning. So if you look on the back of it, it'll say, I believe it'll say like light cleaning, heavy, medium, and heavy. So mine's just kind of for, the all-purpose cleaning. I want to say it's 4 to 1, but if you just look at that list, it's kind of right there in the middle. Kyle, do you know what the dilution is for Tempest that we're running in the chemtrail? Oh, now we have no audio. Yeah, so just look on the back. I need to remember those, but it's just the general purpose cleaning one is all that I use. The nice thing about that is if you make it and you feel like it's a little too heavy, just add some more water, just kind of play with it and find what your favorite dilution. The thing that I like about Tempest though is that what I have found, and I've been using it for Tempest, I've been using for a solid 3 years now. And what I like about it is even at, kind of heavier dilutions, it still doesn't seem to fade or damage anything. So that's kind of one of why I love Tempest as a degreaser is it's just really, really safe on surfaces. So just kind of play with the dilution, see which one you're looking for, but mine's at the medium.
Kyle, is your audio working yet? Yeah.
Okay.
I think we still have our same delay and stuff.
No.
Oh, now it's worse.
I don't know what happened. All right. Well, I guess I'll make her with Sydney.
Maybe you should, Kyle. Maybe what if you went to like the lobby or something? I wonder if it would be stronger than in your room.
I'll try it.
Or if there's a patio or something, maybe. Yeah.
Or he could just jump on with his regular data on his phone or something.
Well, he's on his phone now.
I am.
That's what he's doing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I went on.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe try going down to the lobby or something. At the hotel we stayed in Seattle, my Wi-Fi was definitely much better in the lobby than in the room.
All right, I'll try it out.
So Nate, all right. So Nate has a good follow-up question to the Tempest. So what is the difference between Tempest and Enviroclean? So Tempest is a degreaser and Enviroclean is an all-purpose cleaner. So Tempest, you're going to kind of use on more things that are more grease-based, dirty, and Enviroclean is going to be more just general dirt and things like that. So for me, I use Tempest in the fender wells. I use it for the floor mats. I use it for basically anything undercarriage that's really dirty. And I will also use Tempest on engines. I don't do engines a lot in my business, but when I do, I use Tempest and it always works really, really great. It's just, much faster. Then the Enviroclean, I will use that like on the paint, you know, if there's kind of ground in dirt, I'll use that as a pre-spray to my wash. And then I also will use Enviroclean when I need on the inside. If the interiors are really, really dirty, I do bump up from Express and hit the Enviroclean. So, you know, you would never use Tempest on an interior, and, you know, Enviroclean is totally fine. You just want to make sure that you know, dilute it down to a pretty low level. And then, so yeah, just degreaser versus all-purpose cleaner. So two totally different things. The Enviroclean on like the fender wells and maybe like the engine, you know, you're just not going to get that really great grease cutting ability. So, yep.
Cool. Hold on, next one.
That Tempest versus Undressed. Oh, okay. We'll do this.
Oh, sorry.
I was just sticking on the Tempest, but we're fine. We can jump around. That's no problem. So Kimberly says, recommended product to clean the car after a light rain. Of course, it rained after a wash. I think that always happens, right? That is just always happens. So I would use, if it didn't really, if you weren't driving it in the rain, then paint gloss would be a really great option for that. So, and this was a question that came up at AFO a lot. So this is like right on my mind. So paint gloss is really meant for, you know, light dust and exactly this, maybe like some raindrops, some, you know, not where you drove through where something was really dirty, but where the car's been sitting and it got either dusty or dirty, something like that. So paint gloss is going to be the perfect product for that, because paint gloss has light cleaning abilities, right? So it does have a waterless wash technology in it, and so light cleaning abilities. So paint gloss is going to be great. The other thing I like about paint gloss is it even works on the windows, so you can go over the entire car with it. If you've driven through the rain, but the car's still, you know, moderately clean, but maybe it's got some, you know, road splash up along the bottom of the car, then I would bump it up to Epic. And in this case, I would do Epic on all the paint, and I just wouldn't put Epic on the windows. Not that Epic won't work on the windows, but it is, you know, it has much more of the waterless wash technology that you're going to get smearing and streaking if you're not really vigilant about your wipeout on the windows. So, and you can always wipe everything and then go back with glass cleaner. But with Epic, you may get some streaking on the windows and stuff unless you're really, really good at wiping out. But it's going to work great on the paint. So you would bump up to Epic if it did get, you know, a little bit dirtier. And then, you know, if it's something Epic can't handle, then you're probably back at doing another wash.
Here's a good tip for Kyle.
So my dog, because I was gone for a week, she's like, you really should come sit with me on the couch. She's having a hard time. Jamie says maybe Clarity Cream the computer. I'm assuming he's talking about Kyle's computer.
Yep.
Yeah, for sure. That would probably work. Or, you know, in my case, I would probably spray some paint gloss on it, right? Because paint gloss works on everything. All right. So Samantha says Tempest versus Undressed on the rubber mats. So they both work great. Both saying it's kind of the same technology. I think that Tempest works really great on the rubber floor mats. That's mainly what I use. Honestly, the reason I use it is because that is one of my more high volume use products. And since it goes through the Chemtrol, you know, it's diluted, so it kind of goes a lot further, and it works great. Now, Tempest on tires, I prefer Undressed on the tires because it definitely causes no browning. Not that Tempest does, but Tempest can maybe dry the tires out a little bit more than Undressed does. Undressed is, you know, specifically formulated for rubber. So Undressed still works great on the rubber floor mats. So for me personally, since Tempest goes through my Chemtrol and it's just pushing a button to refill my bottle versus grabbing a funnel to refill it with Undressed, I tend to grab Tempest more, but Undressed works fantastic. So it's really just whatever, you know, if you already have Undressed and that's working for you, keep doing that. It's, you know, it's the cost effectiveness is probably the same on both. I just use Tempest because it's so easy to refill my bottle, but Undressed works awesome and definitely won't cause that drying out browning effect. So that's the other thing I think too, is that I always put natural finish on top of my mats to rehydrate them. Here in Idaho, it's very, very dry, very sandy, very dirty. So everyone's floor mats are so dry. So I really don't ever have a time when I feel like I don't need the natural finish. And so if you have rubber floor mats that you're not wanting to put anything on them, I would switch to Undressed, because Undressed, you're for sure not going to get any of that drying effect on the rubber floor mats. I've just never worried about that because I know I'm going to put natural finish on them right back over it. So both are going to work great.
Yep. I think we should have Piper on the show.
I know. Can you hear her huffing and puffing? She's having a mental breakdown over there. All right. So Tug says, thoughts on using Terminator carpet bomber finisher on a couch? It seems like if it's safe for auto upholstery, it should be safe. Absolutely. Just, as with everything, you're always going to want to do a test spot. So, and the reason I say this is because years ago, I had this happen to me. I had a brand new microfiber couch. This was back like in 2000. So this was a while ago, but I had bought a new couch for myself. I was, pretty young, and I was really excited to have this new couch. And I had a Siberian Husky at the time, and she drooled on it and it left rings. So I thought, I went to the store and bought some upholstery cleaner. And the minute I sprayed it on the couch, it left huge bleach marks. I mean, completely ruined the couch, and it was awful. So my first thing here is always just do a test spot, like in an inconspicuous place. None of these products should cause any kind of bleaching or anything, but because there is so many different materials and dyes and things in couches, I just always suggest doing a test spot. It really should honestly be fine, but just do a test spot. And then, you're good with the Terminator, the carpet bomber. Just make sure that, you have it diluted correctly. And because this one for sure, you're only going to want it to be as aggressive as you need it. So, but I've done a lot of couches this way, and I just kind of lightly, spray them, depending on the material, if you need to scrub or whatnot. And then I've always done a dry extract. So I'll use a regular, extractor, and I just don't add any water and just dry extract those products out of there. You could also use the steamer. That should work great. And then spray the finisher and let that dry, just like we do in the cars. So you're going to do it the same process as we do in vehicles, but just do that test spot first, and then you should be totally good to go. It works great. I use it in my house all the time, mainly on the carpets, but I use it to clean the carpets in my house all the time. Love it. Nate says, does Epic have any protection? I believe the answer is no. If anything, it might just have protection that lasts a day or two. For some reason, I feel like at some point I have heard that there might be a slight wax property in there, but
that's what I thought I've been told, is it has some wax properties.
I feel like it's a very short term. Oh, Bob Phillips says yes. So yes, but it's, days of protection, not anything that you would count as long-term protection. So, but yes, it is going to be a short-term kind of, between wash type protection. Yep. All right, Samantha, Mudbuster versus Tempest on engine and wheel wells. I prefer Mudbuster because of the anti-corrosion. Absolutely. So Mudbuster is kind of going to fall in between Enviroclean and Tempest. So Mudbuster is going to have a couple, things like the anti-corrosion that are going to set it apart from Enviroclean. So yes, I do use Mudbuster now that we have it. I definitely do use it on fender wells and things like that. It works great. And I did do a very, very dirty engine with Mudbuster, and it worked amazing. So absolutely. So if you have Mudbuster, try that too. And I like that anti-corrosion as well. That's awesome. And I just like the color. Kimberly says, does Dream Maker have t-shirts? So there is t-shirts. I don't believe that there's any more that you can purchase. I need to check on that. But those t-shirts that you guys see were made by the rag company. for the release of Dream Maker. So there was some out there. I believe they were selling some on their website for a while. So that would be the first place that I would look. Is
I just searched their website while we were sitting here and I couldn't find any.
Okay, so they must have sold out. So they did have a limited run of them, but they did have those made for the Dream Maker release. So what I would do is maybe send in a request. I think, obviously the more requests we get for something, then, then we can look into making them. But those were definitely my favorite shirts. I wear it all the time. I love the Dream Maker t-shirt.
So poor Kyle's not having any luck.
Oh, man, nothing is working today. That's a bummer.
Hey,
well, darn, Kyle. I'm sure he'll keep trying.
I feel his pain. I had a lot of those nothing is working moments up in.
I know. It's hard. All right. So then we've got Kimberly says, never used a waterless wash. I assume it's similar to rinseless. Not too many demo videos. So this is a great question. This comes up a lot. So waterless wash would be a ready to use chemical that you just spray on and use a microfiber towel to wipe. So this is going to be used on like a lightly soiled car. So you're not going to want to do a really, really dirty car with waterless wash. So this is ready to use in a bottle is waterless wash. It's spray, wipe. And it's going to have polymers in there that lift the dirt away from the surface safely and kind of leave behind a nice finish. Rinseless is a product that you're going to add to water and you kind of do a regular wash without the pre-rinse or the post-rinse. So that is a rinseless wash. It's a product that you add to a bucket of water and do a traditional wash. So that's the difference between the two. We do have demo videos on Epic on our YouTube, so you can check that out. And then if you go to the Rag Company YouTube channel, they have tons of rinseless wash videos that are great, that kind of explain how to do a rinseless wash. So in my business, I've been in business for 10 years and I've only done rinseless washes now for about 9 years. So I probably do 2 or 3 bucket washes, traditional bucket washes per year. And usually that is only for product testing. So not generally do I do regular traditional bucket washes. So and someday I'll try to make a video on rinseless washes. It's just one of those things that it is hard. It's hard to get video of when you're alone for me. So we'll try to work on that, but definitely the waterless wash is on our YouTube. And we will work on doing something for rinseless. But for right now, the Rag Company has a ton. They do that a lot. So it's a great process. Love it. Are you back, Kyle?
Can you hear me?
We can hear you with the delay, but that's fine.
I mean, I use the iPad and the laptop. Finally, the iPad worked.
Yeah, it's not so delayed with the iPad. So that's good. That's good. All right. So Samantha says, do you think you can get a 70s version of the Dream Maker shirt? What does that mean? Like just vintage?
I'm looking at pictures now. I think I know what she's talking about. Just something fun with a 70s font or whatever. We might be able to have some fun with that if we. What was that, Kyle?
Like an Austin Powers kind of vibe. Little that kind of font. Yeah,
maybe something like that.
Yeah, you said vintage fun. Yeah. What's funny is that there was one size, and I believe Bob has the one. There's one size where the pink was a different color. It was almost like a distressed pink. So that makes me think of that. That's kind of funny. But yeah, we'll have to look into doing something fun because I do feel like that Dream Maker shirt, that was definitely one that so many ask about. And I know when I wear it, everyone's like, where did you get that? It's a really fun shirt. I wear it all the time. I absolutely love it. It's awesome. So yeah, we'll look into that. Love the Dream Maker shirt.
Yeah. You guys, any more product questions?
Good morning, Alex. It is a happy month. Look at Kyle, never give up. It's so funny.
Man.
So funny.
Alex, what's up, buddy? Who's our buddy from Canada?
That's Alex.
Was that his Alex?
Yeah, he's one of them.
One of them. I know there's two Alexes.
Yeah.
Someone got excited because I was like really, really close to Canada when I was in the upper peninsula of Michigan. No, I didn't make that trip. They don't want me in Canada.
You were so close I could smell you.
I could swim to it. I mean, like the boat, maybe 100 yards from Canada. It was fun.
Well, we were Sydney and I were fairly close to Canada too.
He's right.
Yeah, that was Alex. That's what I thought.
I thought so too.
So Terry, another vote for bring back the Dream Maker shirts. Bring back the Dream Maker shirts. I love it. Yeah, we'll have to see if we can do something fun with that. I loved that one though. Pristine Auto Detailing that. You know what? So can you put Pristine's comment up? So this is funny. Can you help me with my FOMO of feeling I need to purchase all new PNS products at every launch? I feel you totally. I love new product launches, but here's why I wanted you to bring this up actually, because I'm the same way. I totally feel you. I can't stand when new products come out and I don't have them, but we have a new product coming out in 2 weeks. So I'm not going to tell you what it is. I'm not going to tell you what it has to do with, but I will tell you that I believe 2 weeks from today, we will be launching a new product and it's so cool. And we've been waiting forever for it to come out. So I'm super excited about it. So make sure you tune in. I'm not sure if we'll do it on Bead Maker and Coffee, but maybe. But I do know we're right at the 2 week mark of when it will be launched. So that's fun.
Let's do it on Bead Maker and Coffee. Let's make a big deal about it.
Yeah, I'm super excited about it.
Forever. It seems like a year.
I clicked the wrong one. There we go.
All right. Gabriel, good morning, Gabriel, says, what is the difference between Odor Doc and auto vaccine? So tell me if I'm wrong. I believe it's just the delivery system. Same idea, or is it a different chemical?
Odor Doc is going to get it done a lot faster.
Yeah.
Auto vaccine, they both have similarities. They both have a where you put water and then, but vaccine, it's like a sponge. That does you wet the sponge a lot longer. So for mild, odors, and if you have plenty, it's really affordable. But if you're a professional detailer and you need and you don't want to wait around all day, then Odor Doc is
that's what I was going to say. So I've used both of them. They both work, so no problem there. But the auto vaccine is one that I used to have to keep the vehicles overnight to run that process. So the Odor Doc is something that you're done within, I believe, like an hour and a half. So it's much easier to complete, and the Odor Doc is really great. So the Odor Doc, I would say, is a little bit closer to what you're going to get from an ozone treatment, but single use for those of us that don't, like I don't have that many cars that I need to use it on. So an ozone machine would just be another thing sitting around. So I really love the Odor Docs. They're so handy. They work so good. They're super, super efficient, and it's just a much shorter time. So I love that, if I have another car in my shop and somebody just needs that odor treatment, that they're parked outside anyway, because the car has to be running for an hour, and it's just so fast and easy. And, with the vaccines, even though they were very effective, I did have to keep a vehicle in my garage overnight. And so and also when you're running a treatment like that, you have to be concerned that there's no doors being open, that nobody could get in the car. You kind of take some additional safety measures. So the Odor Doc, there's just a lot less babysitting than, the auto vaccine of worrying about it sitting there overnight. So yeah,
Do
both
auto
effective. Actually, probably newer technology.
You can do odor dock while you just let it sit in the vehicle. Versus auto vacs, like Sydney said, it takes a lot longer. As a mobile detailer, you could do the interior odor dock and go do the outside, spend all the time on the engine, the wheels, the paint, ready to open the doors, allow it to air out, and efficient.
Yep.
Next one. Here's a good comment.
Alex, our car club had the car show with over 600 cars last weekend. I threw Dream Maker on a few club members' cars, and my goodness, it broke some necks. Yeah, that is where that product is so fun to use, is at car shows. It's nice because you can use it in the sun, right? So it just, holy cow. The things it does in the sun on cars is amazing. I love it. That's a lot of cars, by the way. Nick Becchio says, Sydney, favorite clay on glass before polishing. I have a truck that's covered in overspray. I like the Griot's Garage glass clay. I don't have a specific glass clay, but I had a truck that was covered in overspray the other day, and I just used I just have the Buff and Shine clay. I really like that clay. It's really nice to work with. And so if I have something that the clay towel won't get in itself, then I just use the Buff and Shine clay. But it's probably very similar. So yeah, but usually, 90% of the time I just do it with the clay towel, and that usually works. So you might have to play around with that, but I didn't have any problem. I had, it was house overspray paint got all over. Now, to be fair, the glass did have Bead Maker on it before it got oversprayed. I should mention that. In my case, the truck was coated and it did have Bead Maker on the windows. Might have made it a little bit easier, but
makes it nice and easy.
Mm-hmm.
The Buff and Shine clay is really nice. It comes in two grades,
Yeah.
I believe, if I remember right.
Yeah, 2 grades, and then you get 2 bags in each package, which I really like, so that you're not using it all at once, and you can, I really like it. I like the color, and it just seems to do a really great job and last a long time. So I've probably been using the Buff and Shine now for a year and a half, and yeah, it's great. Really love it. Really love it.
Cool.
Lots of good mornings. So nice that everyone's here. Mark Abar.
Lost Kyle again.
Oh man, Kyle. So Mark Abar says, congratulations and nice job to all last week. You make PNS. Oh, you make us proud to be PNS fans. Thank you, Mark. Yeah, last week was, man. Between PNS and all the other sponsors, all of the sponsors are awesome, but PNS and Rennie and Detailing Success, and Chris Woolman, holy cow. Let me just take this opportunity to say how awesome Chris is as well, to keep that project running and keep everybody fed. And the shirts, Chris, do you have a picture of the shirts? The shirts were absolutely amazing. Chris had some special artwork done, and I've seen all the past Air Force One shirts, and that's always kind of a special part of the project is everybody wears the same shirt, and everybody wears a new shirt every single day. And the shirts this year, you just look at the pictures and video, and oh my gosh, they were so cool. So awesome job to you too, Chris. You were amazing.
Thank
Joe
you.
says Chris is a rock star. Yeah.
I was gonna try and
a really cool shirt.
Here's the picture I posted on my Facebook last night with a shirt in it, but and some other goodies I brought home.
Yeah, that was so cool. But that plain on the back, and just like when we would walk places in a group, and just to see everybody's back of their shirt, it just looked so cool. And and we do take so many video and pictures of our backs, right? Because we're working it, we're polishing or wiping, and it just made every picture look so cool. And the artwork was amazing. So cool.
It was fun. I found this artist on Instagram. In fact, here, let me I might as well put a video on real quick just for fun. But I found this artist on Instagram, and he does all sorts of cool aviation art for other museums museums and stuff like that. And he even does nose art for airplanes. Like he'll hand paint the nose art on old airplanes. And so we hired him to do this, and it was a big hit. I was told we had a number of people ask if they could buy the shirts, but when I was in the gift shop at the museum on Saturday, somebody came up and asked me if they could buy it, and I had to tell them, unfortunately, no. Right. And then one of the museum staff wanted to know, more about it, and they might try and reach out to the guy and have him do some projects for him. So that's kind of cool.
It was so awesome. And we got stickers that had that, just the graphic on it. And oh my gosh, those are the coolest. So. Yep.
It was fun.
Awesome job. So Mark, yes, thank you very much. We're glad to make everybody proud, but Chris and Rennie and the entire, Detail Mafia is awesome. Awesome.
Yep.
Good morning, Paul.
It was good. We missed Kyle, though.
We did miss Kyle. We all had some Kyle withdrawal. We all commiserated.
I had a lot of my friends there.
Yeah.
Yep. And a lot of our new friends.
And my fans, they all got the finishing work done, which is great.
Yeah. Yep. And it was fun. We had, a lot of, typically rookies don't get to work on the metal on Air Force One. And this year we did get the opportunity to, and that was really fun. My team, Team One, was put up on the leading edge on one side of Air Force One that had never been touched before. And Matt from Dynabraid came on Monday and used a new special tool and kind of cleaned off that initial layer of, oxidation and aging. And so then we were able to polish it. And so my team got to go up and do that leading edge on Air Force One. So that was so cool. Super, super cool. I loved that. And then another one of the teams got to do some of the engine work on the other side as rookies. So I think, the rookie class this year I thought it was awesome people. And we got to do a lot. So it was really fun. And unfortunately for Chris Lee, who's no longer a rookie, he still filled the gap on the, what would you call it? Hazing. And so the whole rookie class just slid right through the whole week. We didn't get any teasing or hazing because everybody just stuck with Chris Lee. So.
Well, he was a second-year rookie, and he got to be a rookie team leader.
Yes, he did, and he was amazing. He was my team leader, and he was awesome. So, but it wasn't lost on me that we all skated through because he was there. So that was fun. Fun. Chris is awesome. He takes it well, but he gives it right back. So Rick says that was an awesome experience. Rick was on my team too, and man. Rick was awesome. He never stopped working. And, Rick was one that you could tell the heart of the planes. His grandfather was a belly gunner on a B-17. And so, that was just cool to hear people's stories and their connections to the planes. And that was really cool. Rick was awesome. Loved it. We did a fun Top Gun TikTok for him yesterday. Was great.
I was gonna bring up something else for you to share in just a second.
Cool.
Surprised I could even find anything this morning. Let's see. Here comes. So you could tell everybody about this guy.
Oh. His name is Dick Neems, right?
Dick Helms.
Okay.
Dick
Helms. Okay. So probably one of the best moments.
Or maybe Nelms. You're right.
Okay.
It's
So
Nelms.
he was, one of the best moments. So to set this up, so this gentleman was a B-17 pilot in World War II. And so on average, it was like a miracle if these teams completed 25 successful missions. So the B-17, they obviously lost probably 50% of those planes in the war. And so this gentleman actually completed 35 successful missions, which you know, is it once you learn the history of that plane and everything that went on, that's absolutely amazing. So he comes to the museum quite often and sits and just talks to people that come by. So he tries to stop by the project every year. So he showed up, and my days all run together. I can't remember if this was, I think it was Friday, right? Saturday. Okay, so he showed up on Saturday. So to set the stage, he was standing in front of the B-17, and he really likes the ladies, even at his age. So a lot of the guys were all around him, in front of him, talking to him, and they had, you know, introduced themselves and stuff. And Robin and I had been back at the tail of the B-17 working on something. And so we both walked forward together, and Rennie was standing there talking to him, and he started laughing, and he said, "Oh, you're going to love this, what I've got for you." And so Robin and I stepped over the gate, and he saw us, and you could just, I wish somebody had a video of this moment. I haven't seen one, so I'm not sure if there is one, but I mean, his whole face just lit up, and he was like, oh, you know, so excited. And so we took pictures with him, and this one is the one before he squeezed both of us, but we have a picture of where he squeezed both of our sides, and you can see it on our face. We're like, you know, it's so funny. But I mean, literally made his week. And what an amazing person, and truly an honor to meet somebody that has lived this life as he has. And so that was really, really awesome. It was an awesome moment for everybody. You know, everybody wanted to take pictures with him. And I mean, he still, you know, he's just so with it. He has all his memories. He, you know, loves to joke around. You know, he gave Rennie a skull necklace that was very, you know, quite a touching moment. And it was just really cool to be with him. And that, you know, that really tops off your week when you get to meet people that have lived a life like that. And so it was just really, that was really cool. And it was fun when, you know, it couldn't have went perfect with, you know, me and Robin being together at that moment and walking up, you know, behind, and everybody saw it. That was pretty cool. That was pretty cool. So he likes to give a little sweets on the side.
I'll go for it. I'm like 90.
Yeah.
How old is 98 years old?
No, so he's 99. So his 100th birthday is in February, and they're actually going to do, you know, the museum's going to do a really big birthday party for him next February. So yeah, he tells everybody his birthday party's in February. So he's going to be there. And yeah, that was really, really cool. Really, really cool. And you just don't get to meet people like that every day.
Kyle, I think last year Rennie gave him one of our Mafia bracelets, and it was too big for him. And so he removed one of the skulls to shorten it. And he used that skull to make a necklace that he gave to Rennie this year.
Oh, cool.
So yeah. It was very cool. It actually looks pretty awesome.
Yeah. So cool.
So
cool. Yes. Rick said, so several of the guys did get him to sign the back of their AFO shirt. So it was so cool.
Yeah. He's a rock star. Him and Monique.
Yeah. So real quick, the other thing that I thought was so interesting about this and about him is that on the B-17, they were 10-person crew, and the maximum weight was 1,200 pounds with gear on. So that means those guys, they probably averaged, you know, right? We can do the math. They averaged 120 pounds. So everybody that flew in those planes had to be a fairly small person. And what I thought was funny was when I saw him from the back and I was walking up, I can't remember if I had Tom or Fred with me, but you know, I said, "Oh, he's so small," you know, and he said, "Yeah." And he goes, "He's pretty much been that size, you know, like, you know, he might be slightly skinnier, but his height," and you can see in that picture with Robin and I, you know, we are much larger than him. You know, I mean, we're only like 5'8", but he was probably 5'3", but very small person. And so that was like also another visual of how small these guys were back in, you know, World War II. And
well, let's just say he was shorter than Rennie. That would give you an idea.
But can you imagine if you took 10 Mafia guys, what that weight would be versus a 10 crew on a B-17? It's amazing. It's amazing when you think about it. Really, really cool. Rick says he has a cool video of the statistics on the B17 that he'll share. I actually went and watched a documentary yesterday. So when you go do projects like this, you become like hyper obsessed with the planes. And so we did. As soon as I got home yesterday, I went through. I put all my pictures up on the TV screen and went through them with my family. And then we ended up watching a documentary on the B17. It was pretty cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
It looks
right,
like
we have a question. Yeah. So, yes, and Kyle's got to get out. So do I. I've got to go pick up a car. So I have noticed some folks saying that polymer-based products will clog ceramic coatings. I just applied Legend to my 2 new vehicles. What makes Bead Maker different than in that respect? Will it clog the Legend? So I have not heard that. I have not heard that. The only thing that I usually warn people about clogging a coating would be carnauba-based products. Not necessarily polymer-based. Polymer-based, you should be fine. I've never had any problem with polymer-based products on ceramic coatings. I have with carnauba-based. So that's kind of my feeling on that. What do you think, Kyle?
Yeah, on this like Bead Maker or some of the other spray-on, you should be just fine. If you were to use a polymer-based like wax, like a cream, maybe something with Monton wax, it could slow a coating, and that's what people refer to as clogged. But still there. You're just mixing high octane with low, and you're getting a bad performance. So you just applied Bead Maker coating. Use Bead Maker, or sorry, if you just applied Legend, enjoy Legend, and just use Bead Maker as a drying aid, and you should be fine. Why the industry wants to slap more stuff on top of each other? Enjoy what you put all that hard work into.
Yeah.
You could use a few of the other products that are out on the market. I'd probably avoid the F11 stuff. That tends to be a faux pas with a lot of people. There's always, especially mixing coatings, but so many other brands all spray applied polymer or SiO2 products like Bead Maker. Enjoy your Legend. That's what I would say. And
yes,
or maybe every once in a while.
Yep. Perfect, Brandon. So I just saw his follow-up comment. So yes, so I have Legend on both my cars, maintain a ton of Legend cars. Just stick with Dream Maker or Bead Maker. Paint gloss is totally fine. Any of those 3, we call those the Gloss 3.0. You can use any 3, whatever works best for you. My personal, I usually only use Bead Maker maybe once a month, once every other month, and then I kind of stick to either Dream Maker or Paint Gloss, whichever one's closer at the time.
Yeah.
It's hard to wash my own car. So yeah, any of those 3, any of those are going to be totally fine. They're not going to clog your coating. And like Kyle said, just enjoy the Legend for sure. And yeah, no cream-based products probably.
Yeah.
I think it's important to point out that when you top your coating with something, it's going to start taking on the characteristics of that topper, right? Yeah. When you wash it, the way the water performs and the wash performs, right. So maybe that's what people are talking about.
Yeah, it could be. I've never felt like, and that's why I would say stick with Bead Maker, just because that's the one that we have the most experience with. And we know that it does not, I wouldn't say that it doesn't alter it, but it has the same properties. So you're going to get the same result. As Legend alone or Legend with Bead Maker, you're kind of get the same experience. And so really that's, the one that we can speak to, but absolutely it is, so if you use a different brand topper or whatever it's going to take on that characteristic for sure.
Yep.
Cool. All right. Well, both Kyle and I need to get, but this has been a great episode. It's been fun to talk about AFO. And so real quick, we have, so in 2 weeks, we will be back for Bead Maker and Coffee. And then 2 weeks after that, we'll actually be in Hayward, California for our next event, which is Monterey Car Week. So that's going to come up fast. And so then, you know, we always have these 2 projects back to back, and it's always makes for a fun summer and lots to talk about and cool pictures. So
our Maker and Coffee live from even that'd be cool.
Oh, that'd be fun. That'd be cool. That'd be awesome.
Yeah. I mean,
yep. So remember, that's a great idea. So 2 weeks from today, though, we will have a new product for you guys to show you that we, both Kyle and I have been working on that project for 2 years. Has it been 2 years? It's been a long time. So we're super excited for that to come out. So make sure you tune in 2 weeks. And, you know, we can't give you any other teasers other than it's going to be awesome.
All right, guys. Thanks.
Cool. Thanks, Chris. See you, everybody. Yep.